The Bat Fam has been sent back in time to feudal Japan.
It's Bat Jap animation.
Find out our thoughts today on Batman Ninja. Welcome to Nerd Shanty, where we get you caught up on everything in the nerdosphere. I'm Kenty Kryptonite.
And I'm Jamie in general.
And today we're going to be doing our review of Batman Ninja. We recently watched this, I couldn't even say normal, cartoon, because it had a lot of weird 3D-esque cel-shading animation movie on the new DC streaming service, DC Universe. And I have to say, this is one of the most insane ideas for a Batman movie I've ever seen.
Clearly you've never seen the Tim Burton films.
Well, the thing with this one is it almost starts out seeming like it was taking itself seriously, but it kept going further and further off the rails. Now, just so everyone knows, we're not putting any spoilers in this first part. We will put up a spoiler warning when we get into that part after we give our review of it.
It's one of those things that you kind of have to watch in order to really appreciate the gravity of how ridiculous it was.
Yeah, it's one of those things they try to shove as many characters as humanly possible into it, so if you have some favorites, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to be in there unless they're completely, totally obscure. But if you're not trying to take this seriously whatsoever and you're just looking for a really good laugh, I really think that this movie was a fun time.
It was definitely enjoyable in that aspect. It was not be making the same tone as Gotham by Gaslight or Under the Red Hood. It was definitely meant to be taken with a grain of salt and a chuckle.
Well, what did you think about the animation that they used for this?
It was different because it did not stay consistent. The original play was done in a Japanese version and then was dubbed over for English, so the mouthing parts to them and the features of the CGI do not match up correctly. And because it needs to be translated, certain things sound both ridiculous and intelligent at the same time, with certain pieces being not consistent with what the dialects would be for if we were to say them.
Well, and I think with the animation, what was really interesting is a few times they changed the style completely, like out of nowhere it seemed. But unfortunately, when they did that, sometimes you're sitting there wondering, is this a flashback? Is this happening now? Is this in the future? You're really just confused at certain points, but thankfully, eventually it loops itself back around to making a little more sense.
It also follows a consistent storyline, not. That's a 90s joke for you.
I do have to say I did enjoy the movie for seeing a lot of the characters that you don't a lot of the times get to see in these animated movies that they do. I will say it felt a little long. Like, it almost seemed like it was dragging pretty long at some parts, but if you have the time to sit down and enjoy it, you know, it's not horrible by any means.
It was horrible in the sense Power Rangers is horrible in action fighting, so not at all, because that is the best part about Power Rangers, is the everything to it.
So if you were going to give this movie a 1 through 5 score, what do you think you would give it?
I'd have to agree with IMDb on a 5.7 because, quite frankly, it was very good in a nostalgic sense and very good in a comic book sense, but it was not very good in a movie sense.
So basically, when you're looking at it from a 1 through 5 score, that'd be about like a 2.5?
2.5, 2.6, something close to that.
I think I'd give it the same. I'm gonna give it a 2.5. We'll get into some of the reasons it got a lot less of a score than what you might have been thinking by our initial reactions when we get back. And so if you enjoyed the video, please go like and subscribe. If you want to see some spoilers, please stick around. Let's get into spoiler talk for Batman Ninja. So one of the things that I know that was bothering both of us during this movie, sorry to start on a negative note, but what was going up with Damian Wayne in this movie?
Now, if you watch the video, all Robins are in the video, which is great. We love having all the family together. Even the Red Hood is kind of an ass. But this didn't seem like that. He was always right in a vigilante sense.
Yeah. But so, for anyone that knows Damian Wayne, he's a young, broody, angry, doesn't like to listen. They turned him into kawaii, happy, I've got a monkey buddy Damian Wayne, which makes no sense to that character whatsoever.
It doesn't make any connectivity to the story, or for that matter, Batman fans. They were very confused with this song.
Yeah, it was just an odd choice. I mean, it didn't bother me to the point that I couldn't enjoy the rest of the movie, but it's just like if you're actually like a fan of, some of these characters, he was the one that was the most completely different. At least uh, Dick Grayson's acting like Dick Grayson. Jason Todd is still being Jason Todd, and Batman is, well, he's Batman. Yeah.
As always, brooding, self-righteous, and never killing for any reason.
Yeah. Well, what did you think of the Joker in this movie, though?
Now, that's an unexpected twist to the movie. If you're paying attention, the Joker, Batman, and Gorilla Grodd are fighting over a time and space displacement machine where they're shunted in the past. But the difference with it is the Joker was sent back further, and with the original villains and Catwoman, time and space move differently. I don't know, but Batman showed up when the Empire of feudal Japan was already taken over by Two-Face, Deathstroke, Poison Ivy, Penguin, and the Joker. He was, as a whole, completely Joker-y.
Yeah, that's what I really felt as well. I like the fact that you definitely feel it's still the Joker. Harley is given more of just a sidekicky, goofy, happy-go-lucky. It's not like, if you're looking for like an in-depth Harley, you're not going to. If you're looking for in-depth anyone, you're not going to get it here. This is ridiculous fan service for things you didn't even know you wanted. This is in feudal Japan, and they're having giant mech battles, like Gundams and like Megazords and stuff.
But don't worry, if you were worried they weren't going to yell a ridiculously complicated name while they transformed, you are in luck.
Oh, I swear, there's a part where Batman goes Naruto and starts doing the hand
Not even
symbols.
exaggeration. Literal Naruto moves.
It was kind of fantastic, random, and out of nowhere, and had no purpose whatsoever.
And that summarizes the entirety of the movie.
Yeah, this is a pointless movie, but sometimes pointlessly fun is great. Like we talked about in the non-spoiler part, there is a weird skip of animation at one point when they introduce Red Hood, and it's actually kind of violent, like pretty brutal.
Wait, the Red Hood's a violent character?
Well, I mean, for the rest of the movie, it's typical, we punch but there's no blood, we're not like taking somebody's head and smash it. But then you get to Jason Todd and yeah, he kind of changes the tone. I feel like that's why they changed the animation. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, this is the violent part of the movie.
One downside of the aspect is that although Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, and Damian Wayne's whatever it is are mentioned and seen on screen a lot during the movie, the Red Hood is not as much. He's considered a spy who wanders the countrysides looking for information about the Joker and how to take him down.
So, the Joker gets a good spotlight. I feel like Gorilla Grodd did as well. What did you think about the other Rogues Gallery characters?
Completely unnecessary until a certain point. They were used as a throwaway point to make them mech warriors.
You're not only wrong there, and it felt a lot like a video game. Certain parts of this really feel like a video game, and they felt like you have to go to each of the regions to defeat the boss.
And then they all come together, and as we all called it, formed a giant mech together.
Yes, with a giant Joker head, and
that
that was pretty amazing. Well, and none of at least the characters play up to how the characters would act. It's particularly Selena Kyle. Catwoman is Catwoman. She switches sides. She steals stuff in the end, and it's kind of like, okay, but it was cute. They made her very cute.
As always, Catwoman can be considered cute. In the series where right before she gets married, she can be considered a hero in quotations.
So do you have anything else that you'd like to say about this before we cut this video off?
Yes, one understandably confusing thing that would not be noticed as a whole is that everyone on the team, everyone in the Bat family, and even some people on the bad guy side wore masks. But even their great ancestors wouldn't have been born then. So there would be literally no comparison or reason for them to be hiding their identity.
You're definitely not wrong there. There's a lot of weird inconsistencies. That's why I said turn your brain off for this one, guys. If you're looking for logic, this isn't the one for you. If you're looking for over-the-top stupidity, Power Rangers, anime version of Batman, go and give it a watch.
And check out the DC's online services for all the great stuff. A huge fan of Batman the Brave and the Bold. The Titan series is on there. We're going to be coming up with all of those coming soon.
We will. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and keep it groovy. Did you like that video? Of course you did. You're still here. So why don't you go below and give us a like and subscribe.
And if you like the t-shirts we're wearing, check out our sponsor in the bottom links below, Ripped Apparel.